Tree's greatest memory of Jacob will be his passion and dedication to Oak Ridge baseball. He has been a rock in the program from the beginning. He has been with Coach from the beginning of the journey here at Oak Ridge, and Coach is very excited that he has got to see the whole thing through. Everybody please join us in thanking Jacob Franklin. Next up, number 9, Eddie Tan. Eddie is joined tonight by his mother Sherry and his father Ed Tan. Eddie participated 1 year in the program here at Oak Ridge, but was also a 4-year letterman in his career. Eddie plans to attend Rome State Community College in the fall and continue playing baseball. Coach Free's greatest memory of Eddie is the resilience that he has shown. Eddie has been through it this year as far as injury, but he just keeps grinding over and over. He keeps rehabbing and keeps working and has become a special part of our Oak Ridge family. Everybody join us in thanking Eddie Tan. Next up, number 14, Baylor Wright. Baylor is joined today by his mother Sandra and his father Todd. Baylor has participated 1 year in the program. Baylor will be attending Rome State Community College in the fall. Coach Free's greatest memory of Baylor will be the glue that held the crew together. Baylor is so close to all the guys on the team, and he has a way to calm the storm when his friends get a little wound up. Also, Baylor will do anything to help Coach. If he needs a favor, Baylor will always deliver, and Coach owes him dearly for that. Everybody join us in thanking Baylor Wright. Number 19, Eli Baldwin. Eli is joined by his mother Leah and his father David. Eli has participated 4 years in the Oak Ridge baseball program. He will be attending Freed-Hardeman University in the fall to pursue his degree in business. Coach Free's greatest memory of Eli is the Wildcat mentality. He is selfless and such a key part of our program. He has never complained or wavered from staying the course. Coach will forever miss him and owe him for the rest of his life for his Wildcat mindset. Everybody join us in thanking Eli Baldwin. So one last time, let's give these seniors a big round of applause for their dedication to the Oak Ridge Wildcats baseball program. We will miss them and look forward to all of the wonderful things that they will accomplish.
Hello again, everybody. David Clary, Ben George, along with Caleb Riker and Vashon Knowles, live here at Bobby Hopkins Field, getting set for Oak Ridge High School baseball. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge taking on their arch rivals, Clinton Dragons, in a non-district ball game on Senior Day just a moment ago. If you were watching our YouTube stream, we had the seniors being presented out on the field along with their parents and guardians, and it's always a special day, kind of an unscheduled senior day. It was scheduled for this Monday against the Bearden Bulldogs, but the seniors elected to do it today against the Clinton Dragons. This game was originally supposed to be at Clinton, too, so it's kind of a change of a lot of things today, but hopefully, and the senior night went off really well, and hopefully the baseball game will as well. We're about a few moments away from the start of it, Ben. I know you're a senior. You know all these guys, and it's been a fun year. They're the district champions in the regular season. Now getting ready to finish out the regular season and start postseason play.
Yeah, David, a really great group. This group has done a lot for this team lately, becoming regular season district champions for the first time in a while and just doing a lot of great things. So this is a really great group and proud of each and every one of them out there.
Here in a moment, we'll have the national anthem here, so I hesitate to let you run down the starting lineups. I know I kind of threw you into the broadcast here, but while you have an opportunity, why don't you run down the starting lineups?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Well, looks like we're about to have the national anthem here, so we'll go to the public address announcer, Jeff. Actually, they're going to do the starting lineup, so Ben, why don't you go ahead and do that?
For Clinton. Oh, sorry. I apologize. We're sorry.
First pitch was just thrown out, and gets a nice round of applause from the Oak Ridge people. Ben?
Yeah, great pitch out there by Owen Nunez, a senior and a guy that everybody calls the baseball manager for how much support he shows for this team.
Now for the starting lineup for the Clinton Dragons.
And now that starting lineup for the Clinton Dragons, leading off for the Clinton Dragons is Cam Britton. Up second is number 24, Sam Rayleigh. Up third is number 32, Isaiah Skeen. And then at the designated hitter position, Garrett Lee in for Alex Diggins, the pitcher. Number 14, Harrison Shelton, the center fielder, playing there at the fifth spot. Left fielder number 8, Nick Kidd, up at the sixth spot. Jackson Stiltner, is number 23 at the seventh spot. And then Joyce Mack at the eighth spot, number 2. And then last, pitching, is number 33, Ethan Tinker, up there.
And for your Oak Ridge Wildcats?
And then the starting lineup for your Oak Ridge Wildcats, leading off is senior number 19, Eli Baldwin. Up second is number 14, another senior, Baylor Wright. At the third hitter is the shortstop, number 11, Caden Black. Up fourth is the third baseman, number 3, Mikey Teasley. Tyler Pickens, the senior, is number 2. Pitcher at the fifth spot. The designated hitter for Kyron Welch, the catcher, is Eddie Tan, the senior, number 9. And then senior number 7, Jacob Franklin, is at the 7th spot. And Camden Welch, the first baseman, is number 23 at the 8th spot. And then the senior number 5, Jason Slay, is the number 9 hitter. David?
And the Wildcats are heading out to their positions. Obviously, we're about to have the national anthem. Clinton is lining up on the first base side, about to have the national anthem. This rivalry dating all the way back to the 1940s, and now we'll rise for our national anthem.
Face the flag for the playing of our national anthem. Let's play
It's our
ball.
national anthem here from Bobby Hopkins Field, getting set for Wildcat baseball. Oak Ridge wearing their all white and cardinal pinstripes. The Dragons wearing their predominantly black jerseys, black pants with white and a little orange trim, not a whole lot. We're about to get set. This has been a fun year of Oak Ridge High School baseball. The Wildcats trying to win, I believe, their 19th game of the year. Wildcats, the all-time record is 25 wins for an Oak Ridge High School team. That happened back in the 90s. So an opportunity, especially as the district champions, to go a long way. They've still got one more regular season ball game against Bearden. That's coming up on Monday. I'm going to have to turn off the mic, though, Ben, before so we get thrown off the air. We are live here at Bobby Hopkins Field, leading things off for them. For them is Cam Britton, and he leads things off against Tyler Pickens. Tyler comes in at 5-0 on the year, and he obviously has been the Wildcats' #1 all season long. He's a right-handed throwing senior. We've talked about this several times. We came from Hardin Valley Academy, had a great football year, and really has just stepped onto the baseball field and done wonders for the Wildcat program.
Yeah, David, Tyler has become this ace for the team and has really built up this team morale and done a lot of great things for them.
First pitch of the ball game is high and inside, and we're underway here at Bobby Hopkins, the Wildcats and the Dragons in this non-district ball game. I'll set the defense for the Wildcats. Playing catcher for Oak Ridge is Kyron Welch. The first baseman is his brother, Camden Welch. Jason Slays at second. Caden Black's at short. Mikey Teasley is at third. Here's Pickens' pitch, a little bit high, belt high, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Wildcats have a different showing in the outfield. The Wildcats are starting all their seniors today on senior day, and that's a great thing for Coach Free to do as Tyler comes to the plate. Pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. Why don't you run down the seniors out in the outfield for the Wildcats?
David, out at left field is number 19, Eli Baldwin. Out at center, this pitch is out there for strike 2. Out in center is Eddie Tan, and then out in right field is Baylor Wright.
Baylor getting his first start as an Oak Ridge Wildcat. Tyler Pickens has even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, cut on and miss. That's a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 1 here in the first inning. And the batter now for them will be the catcher, and that'll be Sam Rayleigh. James Branson's not with us doing the public address announcing today. He's celebrating his youngest son, Baker's birthday, a birthday party in this unscheduled ball game. Pickens has the sign. Here comes the pitch outside for a ball. I can hear Freddie in the stands. Freddie Fagan, the mayor of Clinton, is in the house here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Always fun to see Freddie. You know who I'm talking about, I'm sure. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Cut on, hit on the ground, 1 hop to Tyler Pickens. He runs halfway, actually more than halfway, underhands it over to Camden Welch, and that is out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for the Dragons here in the top of the first. And who's up next now for the Dragons?
Now up is Isaiah Skeen.
He is a right-handed hitter as well. The Dragons come in. Pretty successful season for them. They're a 3A team. Oak Ridge is a 4A team. We competed with them for so many years in our district, but not the case now. We're still playing football in our district. First pitch to him is cut on a miss, and a good live fastball right down the middle, and the count is 0-1. We had the senior day presentation before the game. We didn't get our stream on soon enough. We got some of it, though, and we apologize for that. There's strike two. And Tyler, you know, he is bringing it here in the first inning.
Yeah, he is starting to deal right here.
No balls, 2 strikes the count. Kind of getting a little cloudier here is bright blue sky when we set up earlier today. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wildcats are the District 3 champions. The Wildcats will play their first district tournament ball game on Thursday. Wildcats will play all of their tournament games in the district here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Obviously, the opponent not known to this point. Tyler Pickens, as the batter calls a timeout. And it'll be starting on Thursday. The tournament itself will begin, I believe, on Monday. So the lower teams will play the kind of the play-in ball game. And then, like I said, Oak Ridge gets a bye. We'll play until Thursday. That pitch is low and outside. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And, David, I do want to get a bit of a defensive adjustment right here. I did make a mistake in saying that Eddie Tan is in center field. That is Jacob Franklin out there in center field for the Wildcats.
Thank you, Ben. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody aboard for the Dragons. Here's Pickens' pitch. Breaking pitch stays way up high. And the count is full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got competing broadcasts here in our our little press box here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Matt Hagan's doing the Clinton broadcast. You can tune over to him if you get tired of us. That pitch is high and inside. That's ball 4. First base runner of the ball game. And the number 3 hitter for the Dragons walks. And who's up next for Clinton?
Now up for the Clinton Dragons is number 19, Garrett Lee, the designated hitter.
Sean Knowles doing camera work. Caleb Riker doing the scoreboard work. And Ben George is next to me here, Bobby Hopkins, on this Saturday afternoon. Prom day for you seniors and juniors and I guess anybody else who got invited. Here's the pitch from Tyler. That pitch is a called strike at the belt on the outside half of the plate. And the count is 0-1. Haven't seen Vashon in a while. Good to see him always. He said he was cold, put his hoodie on. I remember him having to put that blanket on at Campbell County about a month ago. No balls and 1 strike. We'll talk prom in a minute here, Tyler. Or Ben, sorry. Tyler pitching. There's strike 2. With the exception of the previous batter, he's been pretty much in the strike zone. This is their cleanup man. He's behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Tyler checks the runner at first. He's working from the stretch. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Cut on a miss. Sit down. And that is out number 3 here in the top of the first. We go to the bottom half of the first inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field in this rivalry game here on this Saturday afternoon on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. The Wildcats coming to bat. We've got a scoreless ball game. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. Senior Eli Baldwin leads things off for Oak Ridge. He's the leadoff man, senior. First pitch to him is a called strike at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Eli, primarily this year, has been used in running situations, pinch running, but he is a senior, gets to start today. Here's the 0-1 pitch to him, cut on and missed, and the count is 0-2. I like the fact that Coach Free, and I know Coach Green and Coach Taylor, they'll start their seniors on senior night. I like that. 0-2 pitch, hit on the ground, third base side. It goes past him, and he bounces it away from him, and the Wildcats have their leadoff man on. We're going to give him a hit on that. The ball took a funny hop. Third baseman tried to get it, and he couldn't come up with it cleanly, and Baldwin is aboard safely as he is on base for the first man of the game, and here comes Baylor Wright. Baylor stands in, and the first pitch to him is a called strike. I'm trying to remember if Baylor has had any at-bats this year. I've seen him run several times. I do not remember any plate appearances for the Wildcat.
Yeah, he has pinch run a couple times during this season, as that is in for strike two. He has pinch run for the Wildcats a couple times this season, but I don't think he has had any at-bats during this regular season.
He takes the first two pitches. He's behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Catcher sets up outside the plate, and ball bounces away, but Eli not really far off the bag, couldn't advance. The count is 1-2. So Oak Ridge and Clinton here on our YouTube channel, Prep Ready on this senior day. Wildcats starting all of their seniors. One's on first, that's Eli Baldwin. No score. Pitch to Baylor is called strike 3, and Wildcats are going to steal a base, and the ball goes sailing into center field. Eli went in head first. The throw went sailing over the top and into center field. The center fielder was playing shallow. Eli was still getting his uniform dirty, too much to his mother's chagrin, but he's in there with a stolen base.
And David, now up to bat is the shortstop, number 11, Caden Black.
Having to remind Ben of the scorebook duties. You're out of practice.
It's been a minute.
Pitch to the plate to Caden Black is a called strike on the inside half of the plate. Just underway, the Wildcats starting seniors tonight, but this is a junior, Caden Black, typically the leadoff man, but he's hitting third in the lineup. Had 4 hits last night against the Bearden Bulldogs. He's left-handed hitting junior. The pitch to him is a breaking pitch hit in the air softly to right center field. The center fielder calls for it. He's under it. Tagging at second and heading towards third is Eli Baldwin, and he will get in under the tag. So the Wildcats have a runner at third with 2 outs now, and the batter now will be the freshman, Mikey Teasley. So Caden hit a soft fly ball to really basically shallow center field. I'm going to turn my mic off. Mikey Teasley stands in, number 3. Number 4 hitter in the Wildcat lineup. The freshman takes the swings and fouls it back to the screen. The count is 0-1. Tyler Pickens on deck for the Wildcats. Wildcats have a runner at third, Eli Baldwin. He led off the ball game with a little ground ball to third, and he's at third base now, representing the first run. Pitcher and the catcher trying to get together. As I mentioned, the Wildcats have won the district championship already. Will play their first district ball game here at Bobby Hopkins Field on Thursday. I'm not sure of the time. I have seen the schedule for the tournament, but I don't have the exact details. Mikey stands back in. No balls and 1 strike. I'm very partial to number 3. I'll tell you why here. As the pitch is down low, stopped at the plate by the catcher. When I played baseball for Oak Ridge High School, I wore number 3. I did. Did you even know that I played baseball at Oak Ridge?
I did know that you played baseball. I did not know that you wore number 3 back in high school.
Yep, number 3. That was me. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch is high. 2 balls and 1 strike. I'm also going to tell you a story, too. My junior year, we had probably one of the worst teams in Oak Ridge history, actually, and I'll finish that story in a minute. 2-1 pitch to Mikey. Outside. A little too outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. We had lost our first 4 or 5 ball games of the year. We were reeling. We played Clinton here, and we won our first ball game of the year, and I scored the winning run. So I have a history. Here comes the ball bouncing away, and Eli's going to drive in. He's going to be out. at the plate. I'm not so sure. Bang, bang play. I thought he got under the tag. The video replay will show it eventually, but the Wildcats, the ball just bounced immediately off the concrete or the bricks here and bounced right back to the catcher. I thought he initially got under the tag. I'm not sure if he did or not. Let's see if Bashan did. Bashan says he did. I'm going to have to turn off our mic. We go to the second inning. Scoreless ball game, Oak Ridge and Clinton. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the top half of the second inning. Why don't you run down the first three batters in the Clinton lineup?
Yes, David. Up first was Cam Britton, who struck out. Sam Rayleigh grounded out on his first plate appearance, and then Isaiah Skeen walked on his, and Garrett Lee struck out to end the inning. And now up is Harrison Shelton.
First pitch to him is high and outside. Ball one. One ball, no strikes. Yeah, I scored the winning run. So I can say that I have scored the winning run to beat the Clinton Dragons before in high school sports. That's something Bashan can't say. That's something that Caleb can't say. And Ben, I don't know. Can you say that?
I don't think I can, David.
Bashan just pointed out that he does have more touchdowns than me. Yes, he does. And tackles and sacks. If you count my boys club days back, does that count? Bashan says no. I don't know. 2 balls and no strikes. Actually, now 2 balls and 1 strike. Let's go back to the baseball game. He's just mad. As the pitch is cut on and missed, he's just mad that I physically, my foot, touching that plate here at Bobby Hopkins Field, beat the Dragons. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. We're in the second inning. Right-handed throwing Tyler Pickens. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hit foul off to the left side and out of play.
As Nicholas Kidd is on deck for the Clinton Dragons next, David.
Thanks, Ben. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's gotten a little chillier here. It's gotten a little cloudy. I might have to put my hoodie on here in a moment. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch inside. And it's full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tyler's walked 1 batter in the ball game. We got a 3-2 count here. The senior with Welch with the sign. 3-2 pitch. Hit foul again. Back our way and out of play. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Go run it down, John.
Tyler glares in for the sign once again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Actually, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tyler comes to the plate. Now, 3-2 pitch. Hit foul again. Just kind of put his bat out there and stayed alive. Good job of hitting, kind of staying alive, just kind of dinking little foul balls off until he can get something that he can hit. And the count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody aboard, nobody out here in the second inning. Oak Ridge and Clinton here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The game scheduled for the fairgrounds today, but moved over here. 3-2 pitch. Almost hit him, and that is ball 4. So the second walk of the inning, or second walk of the ball game, my apologies, for the Dragons, and they have got their leadoff man aboard here in the second inning.
Now batting for Clinton, number 8, Nicholas Kidd.
Now up to bat for the Clinton Dragons is now Nicholas Kidd.
Right-handed hitter. Pickens on the hill for the Wildcats. As I mentioned, he's walked a couple guys here. He struck out a couple too. See what he can do here in the second inning. Here's the first pitch, way outside. That's ball 1. Tyler comes in at 5-0 on the year, as I mentioned. Kind of the number 1, as Ben has said, for the Wildcats. I would assume right now, and we'll talk about this in a moment, as that pitch is hit in the air softly to right center field. The Wildcats, Jason Slay almost makes the catch, almost gets the force out, though. He did not make the play. Last night, I felt bad for Jason. We had an opportunity late in the ballgame to get out of a big inning, and he almost just made a spectacular play. That time, the ball was in and out of his glove, and the Dragons have something going on here in the second inning.
I just want to make it known that David did that whole at-bat, putting on his sweatshirt, struggling to put it on, and still was calling the game. That is straight-up professionalism.
Thank you, Ben. 2 on, nobody out here. Ben, a little bit of a mess here for Tyler. Let's see if he can work out of trouble here. He's got the lower part of the order. That pitch is a called strike against the left-hander. 2 on, nobody out. Scoreless ball game here from Bobby Hopkins.
As now this is Jackson Stiltner up to bat for these Clinton Dragons.
Tyler checks the runner. He's going towards third. He squares to bunt. Here's the throw down, and he is going to be in there. It's a double steal. It looked like he got the tag on him. It's bang, bang play. Either he slid under it, but that's 2 calls we haven't gotten here in the ball game. But, it's baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Evidently, Coach Free must have said something to the umpire because he glared into the Oak Ridge dugout. So they've got 2 runners in scoring position. So tough situation here for Tyler Pickens. 1-1 pitch. Inside, bounces away, but not far enough. Kyron tracks it down probably about 15 feet away from the home plate area. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, a bit of a shame right there, David. That looked like it was a tag on the play. Unfortunate to not get that call, but Tyler here in a bit of a situation, just trying to get back and fight through.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 on, nobody out. Dragons batting against the Wildcats here, Bobby Hopkins, on this senior day. Here's the pitch. Inside again is 3 balls and 1 strike. He's just really struggling now to find his control. Threatening to load the bases here. 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch, hit on the ground, left field, that's a base hit. Just put his bat out, and the Dragons have the lead, and they've got runners on the corners with nobody out. Just a soft little hit into the outfield, and the Wildcats trail Clinton 1-0. Didn't do much with it, didn't try to hit it out of the park, just kind of poked the ball into left field. And that is the first run of the ball game. Dragons on top of the Wildcats.
And now David up to bat is Jace Mack, and he is the third baseman for the Clinton Dragons.
Clinton has the first run of the ball game. Let's see if the runner at first tries to take off. They've been moving. That pitch is inside. Tyler just trying to find his control right now, Ben. That hasn't really been an issue for him this year.
Yeah, for a lot of the season, he's played composed and played a lot of great baseball and pitching-wise. Just right here, he's just in a bit of a jam, and he's just looking to fight through and pick himself back up.
Inside once again, it's 2 balls and no strikes. Tyler's struggling, trying to regain his, as you said, his composure here. They've got runners on the corners. They've scored a run. There's still nobody out. Defense is anxious. Teasley is in just a little bit, close to the grass. Cam holding the runner at first. He squares to bunt, takes a strike, and the runner steals without a throw. So they've got runners at second and third with nobody out. Was a strike. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Caleb Riker doing our scoreboard work. Vashon Knowles doing our camera work. Smile, Vashon. He looks tired or something. He's good, he says. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch. Hit it once again, line drive. They could have a double play, and they do. He called him out that time, so it is a double play. Line drive to Caden Black. He delivered the throw to Mikey Teasley, and they doubled the man off at thirds. The runner at second also could have been doubled off. The ball was hit just on a soft line drive, and Caden didn't really have to move much. Teasley was right around the bag. Double play, and now Tyler can get out of any further damage if he can retire this guy.
Correct, David. And right here is the pitcher, number 33, Ethan Tinker for the Dragons.
Right-handed hitter. Runner at second. 1 run in for the Dragons. They lead Oak Ridge 1-0. Runner going to third. Breaking pitch cut on a miss. Here's the throw, and it goes past the third baseman, and they're going to score another run. Wildcats. The ball was in the dirt low, and they basically steal a run for the Wildcats, from the Wildcats, and it's 2-0. Throw was down in the dirt. Mikey tried to dig it out, but he couldn't, and it's 2-0. 2 runs in. Wildcats not as sharp as they could be here, Ben.
Yeah, very unfortunate for this second inning of play, just not being able to get all of the firepower that they usually have.
Breaking pitch in there for a called strike, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. 2 runs in. Walks for the Wildcats. Coming to roost for the Dragons. Pitch is a called strike, and that is strike 3. But the Dragons put 2 on the board. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. We're live at Bobby Hopkins Field on Senior Day. Oak Ridge trails the Clinton Dragons 2-0, and we'll be back for the bottom half of the second inning in a moment.
And now up to bat for the Oak Ridge Wildcats is number 2, the pitcher, Tyler Pickens.
Tyler stands in here, 2-0 Dragons. We're in the second inning. Pitch is hit foul over the top of the third base coach, the Wildcats, and count is no balls and 2 strikes. And Tyler had an opportunity to get out of that top half of this inning. Just an errant throw allowed the second run to score. The 1 strike pitch is hit on the ground. That's in the corner for at least 1. Tyler Pickens rounds first, and he'll get the stop sign there. So a good start for the Wildcats here in the second. A leadoff single for Tyler Pickens.
And now up for the Wildcats is a designated hitter and senior number 9, Eddie Tan.
Eddie.
Courtesy runner in the ball game for the Wildcats, perhaps, as it'll be Izzy Mitchell coming in for Oak Ridge. Let me tell you something, Ben. Last night at Bearden, Izzy almost hit a home run. The ball landed at the base of the foul pole in left field. If he had hit it just a little higher and 1 yard longer, it was a home run for Izzy. But he got a double out of it.
Yeah, I saw your tweet last night that it was like 409 feet or something like that, and great hitting performance by Izzy there.
Ball's hit in the air, shallow center field. The center fielder charging hard, and he's going to make it right behind the bag. Throw back to first. The ball eludes and goes all the way to the Clinton dugout, so Izzy will advance down to second. Wildcats trailing 2-0 here. Eddie Tan popped it up, and center fielder had to come in a long ways to come get the ball. The infielders really didn't leave the dirt area. The center fielder had to charge in. Well, that's kind of funny. The walk-up song that was selected for Alex Franklin, for Jacob Franklin, is now being played as Jacob Franklin's walk-up. And I think Alex had everything in the world to do with that, the new walk-up song. So Jacob stands in, pitched well last night. He got the loss, and a tough loss. And he hits the ball to center field, and that's going to drop in for a hit. Izzy kind of waited a while and would have scored probably. The outfielders for the Dragons play very shallow. To be honest with you, they play very, very shallow. And Izzy, I guess, thought maybe the ball might be caught or he didn't catch it clean off the bat. But the Wildcats have something going here with runners on the corners with 1 out in a 2-0 ball game.
As now up to bat for the Oak Ridge Wildcats is number 23, the freshman, Camden Welch.
He almost hit one out last night. He hit one about as hard as you can hit one, as the Wildcats are going to steal it. The ball's going to bounce away, and oh boy, Izzy, I'm surprised he didn't break. The Wildcats get a stolen base with Jacob Franklin. They have the tying runs in scoring position, and a 1-ball, no strike count on Ken Wood. He hit the ball so hard when it left the bat to right center field. I thought it was gone, but it died out at the wall. As the pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Surprised Izzy didn't score on that, honestly.
Yeah, one thing about Izzy right there was that he just hesitated right there instead of going full on, just hesitated a bit and stopped him from scoring.
1-1 pitch to the freshman is drilled in the corner, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. We've got a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen. 2-2 our score. Jacob Franklin scores run number 2. It is a 2-run double for the freshman, Camden Welch, and the Wildcats have tied the Dragons at 2 apiece. Batter now for the Wildcats will be Jason Slay. I'll turn off my mic. Jason stands in for the Wildcats, another senior. He started all the ball games this year. Slow curve in there for a called strike, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Ben, I know you're a Braves fan. Braves game's been canceled for today. It was raining so hard in New York. 2-2 our score. Camden is the runner at second. The freshman picked up a 2 RBI double just a moment ago to score Izzy and Jacob, and we've got a 2-2 ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Slay steps in. Wildcats have on deck Richie Ferreira. Not in the original starting lineup. That breaking pitch stays up high, I guess. Yeah, I think the Clinton fans wanted that call. Looked pretty good. It might have stayed up high. That's all I can say. But we'll take it.
We will.
2 balls, 1 strike. Camden takes his lead off of second. The pitch, breaking pitch, hit foul off to the right side and out of play. So it didn't take long to get the lead, take the lead away from the Dragons, Ben.
No, it was a quick couple hits and a couple of offensive production there for the Wildcats, and now we're back in this thing tied up.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch, breaking pitch, high and inside. Man, it's tough to take that one. Jason had a lot of guts right there, Ben. I mean, that pitch came floating in there. We got a full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cam takes his lead again, 3-2 pitch. Hit in on the hop into center field. Cam had to wait for a second, but he's going to get the green light. Here comes the throw. The Wildcats score, and Oak Ridge takes the lead, 3-2. So the Wildcat bats coming alive here in the second inning, and they lead the Clinton Dragons 3-2. A soft line drive. Cam had to hesitate because the ball was right in front of him, right to the shortstop. Shortstop didn't really make a good play on it, and Oak Ridge has the lead 3-2. Here comes Richie Ferreira in the bat for the Wildcats now. Richie got a chance to pitch a little bit last night. Richie's going to stand in, and is he hitting for Eli?
He will be hitting at the leadoff position. Eli Baldwin taking his position for today.
He is a sophomore. Wildcats with a lot of youngsters starting today, freshmen and sophomores. And the first pitch to Richie, here it comes. Hit in the air again. High fly pop. Center fielder is coming in. The second baseman back on it makes the catch. That's one thing I noticed on that other high fly ball. As I mentioned a moment ago, their infielders didn't move. That time the second baseman kind of drifted out in the shallow right center field for the out. And the batter now will be Izzy Mitchell.
Yeah, and like you were saying there, David, defensively, the Dragons have been playing a little up in shallow field instead of being deeper. This Wildcats team has taken advantage of that and started to hit some balls out there deep.
Runner is going. Here comes the throw. It's kind of a floater down to the bag, so it's an easy stolen base for the Wildcats. So Oak Ridge is getting their seniors out of the ballgame now and putting their regular starters in the ballgame as Izzy stands in for, I guess this is for Baylor. That pitch is way outside in the dirt. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. So Oak Ridge getting their regular starters back in the ballgame.
Yes, sir, David. And Izzy right here, just another example of taking that spot as he will be playing now for Baylor right at the second position.
Here's the pitch. Low and outside. Oh, man. Called a strike. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. 3 runs in for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge now in the lead, 3-2. Here's the pitch to Izzy. Cut on and missed. Might have foul tipped it as well. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3 runs in. The Wildcats on top of Clinton. Actually, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Izzy Mitchell. Pitch to him. Hits him right in the shoulder. And down to first he goes. Yeah, a little breaking pitch just got away from him, and the Wildcats have runners at first and second. And here comes Caden Black. Caden popped out his first at bat. He had 4 hits yesterday against Bearden, Ben. Really big day for him.
Yeah, David, and just a classic game for Caden, just being able to get that hitting production up always, playing really great baseball lately.
All-state performer from a year ago, and the first pitch to him floats in there for called strike 1. A lot of breaking pitches. 1 strike the count. 2 on for the Wildcats. 2 outs, 3 in. Oak Ridge on top, 3-2 over Clinton. Here's the pitch. Another breaking pitch in there for a called strike. He likes that inside corner, the umpire does. He didn't call that earlier when, he could have against us. Against, I guess it was Jason Slay. So Caden behind the count, 0-2 pitch, hit foul. Kind of just hacked at it to stay alive. And the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. The good news is the Sweet Caroline was played before the ball game. Coach Gaddis called me immediately, Ben, to tell me that needed to get off the speakers. 0-2 pitch, breaking pitch hit on the ground, just foul up the first base line. And the count stays at 0-2. We're in the bottom half of the second inning of Bobby Hopkins. The Wildcats' final regular season ball game will be on Monday, scheduled to be Monday, I think against the Bearden Bulldogs. Comes the 0-2 pitch. Thought about swinging, did not. It's inside on the fastball, and the count is 1-2 strikes. Big hits by Camden Welch, scoring the run for the Wildcats, scoring a couple of runs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch stays outside, and the count is 2-2 strikes. For an unscheduled ball game, Ben, we don't have a whole lot of students like we normally do, but it's still a really good turnout.
Yeah, really good turnout, and that goes with playing senior day games. As this one's hit, driving,
Foul
in the right field.
Yeah.
But back to this is what happens during senior day games, is where you get the big crowds and you get that support for all your seniors and the whole team as a collective, and it's a great example of that tonight.
So, Ben, how much did you have to pay to go to the prom?
For myself and the person I'm going with, it was $80.
Wow. Here's the pitch, low and inside. And now it's 3-2 strikes. On deck for the Wildcats, the freshman Mikey Teasley. $40. Where does that money go to? I'm curious about that.
That is a great question, David. I've been curious about that same question, but I can't really give a good answer.
3-2 pitch about to be made to Caden. Here's the pitch. Runners going. Pitch is hit weakly on the first base side. It's going to be a bang-bang play, and he makes it in time for out number 3. But a very productive bottom of the second inning. The Wildcats put 3 on the board. They take the lead over the Dragons. 3-2 our score as we go to the top of the third from Bobby Hopkins in Oak Ridge. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the top of the third inning. Wildcats on top of the Dragons 3-2. As Tyler Pickens has new life here. He fell behind the previous inning with a couple runs, one of them unearned for sure. He was his own worst enemy in that inning, obviously, with the walks. He's hoping to maintain his control here, kind of get things rolling as we go to the third inning. Really nice crowd on hand here for this ball game. We hope you'll come out Thursday for the Wildcats' first district ball game. It's here at Bobby Hopkins Field against a team to be determined. Wildcats are the District 3 champions. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch stays up high, and the count is 1-0 and no strikes. Who's batting here, Ben?
Now up to bat for the Dragons is number 9 at the leadoff position, Cam Britton.
Takes a strike there. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody aboard, nobody out. We're in the 3rd inning of this non-district ball game between two rivals. A little breeze coming in the booth here. The pitch is cut on and missed. And the count is 1-2. He just can't seem to find the right pitch. That was a nice one there to find his control. He's been a little bit wild with his fastball. His breaking pitch has been out, but at times he's also looked very sharp. 1-2 pitch. That's a breaking pitch hit in the air. Foul territory coming back our way. And it drops harmlessly to the new gravel. We talked about this, Ben, several times, and Joey and I have too, how nicely they have made this field look with the new stands, the concrete and everything. Looks great.
Correct, and they're starting to do a lot better things with this field, and this pitch by Pickens is up and high for ball 2. Just a lot of great things going on for this baseball program as they continue to get better games going, playing-wise, but also a lot of great amenities come into the baseball field coming up.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. Tyler comes to the plate, 1-2 pitch, hit in the air, softly on the infield. Should be Caden Black. It's a nice, easy play for him right behind the bag, and that is out number 1. Went to Bearden last night, Ben, and you talk about a nice press box. I know they've had some great teams over at Bearden. It's a double-decker thing with this big plate glass. It was all brick. It was beautiful. I mean, really nice. I know that the next phase of the program is to get a new press box, new concession stand in areas, but I would go over to Bearden and take pictures and use the blue pens for that because it was really nice.
Right, and Bearden has a lot of great amenities there. This first pitch by Pickens is in for strike 1. Bearden has a lot of great amenities over there with their great-looking field and a lot of great amenities, including that press box over there.
Yeah, they have their retired numbers, their former major leaguers and current major leaguers. 1 strike pitch, cut on foul, tipped into the mid of Kyron Welch, the junior catcher. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the score, Oak Ridge in the lead. We're in the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd. Here's the 0-2 pitch, hit on the ground to the second baseman, Jason Slay. Fields it, has to throw quickly, and he does in time for out number 2. Ball. One thing I have kind of thought is, really good for the Dragons here, they just kind of put the bat out there. They don't try to do much with it. They just try to make contact, and they've had a couple just little dinkers that have found holes in this game, and that was another example. A bang play at first base and almost another hit, just a little dinker.
Yeah, David, and like you said, they're just looking for contact, not really going for the deep ball, but just trying to get contact and get hits.
First pitch bounces in front of the plate, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. We got Bashan doing camera, the Wildcat footballer, and we got another Wildcat, Caleb Riker, doing scoreboard. He's a track guy and a football guy. 1 ball, no strikes. Tyler Pickens comes to the plate, 1-0 pitch. That's high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Nobody on for the Dragons. There are 2 outs. Right-handed hitter. 2-0 pitch, hit foul. Back our way, scattering people. Hey, I see Big Cat in the house here today. That would be Mr. Michael Lorendine. His nephew is Baylor Wright. I see him and his mother, Marilyn Darnell and Sandra. 2 balls, 1 strike pitch, cut on and missed, and the count is even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looks like the director of basketball operations, Aiden Hawkins, in the audience today. He likes that title, Ben.
Oh, he loves it. He runs with it every chance he gets.
2-2 pitch is hit foul up the third baseline, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see who else is in the stands here. It's always good to kind of point out people. Obviously, about every ball game we have the parents and a lot of the grandparents here, and just typically a lot of students. This has been a fun year for the students. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Bounced this time about 2 or 3 feet in front of the plate. And the count is full, 3-2.
And David, I will name one person in particular that's here at the game that it comes to all of the Oak Ridge baseball games is Owen Nunez. He threw out the ceremonial first pitch to start off senior night, and he has been an instrumental part on this baseball team this season.
Drayton Hawkins, principal here. Joe Gaddis, athletic director. Here's the pitch, ripped to left. Izzy came in on it, now back and makes the catch for out number 3. The ball was hit well, but out. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field on this beautiful Saturday in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and the Wildcats lead the Dragons 3-2. We'll be back in a moment.
Now up to bat for the Oak Ridge Wildcats is number 3, Mikey Teasley, the third baseman. Thus far in this game, Mikey has had a walk on his first plate appearance, and here he goes with his second pitch in there for ball 1.
Yeah, the breaking pitch stayed outside. Catcher throws it into to the second baseman who fields it and throws it right back to him. Sun's out again. When I first got here to set up, Ben, I mean, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was just blue sky. And it got cloudy and overcast as that pitch is down low, a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Wildcats had a big inning in the second where they scored 3 runs to take a 3-2 lead. Dragons scored their 2 before that. Here's the pitch to Mikey, is hit foul over towards Tyler Pickens in the on-deck circle. I was noticing last night at Bearden, the on-deck circle was no more than 10 feet away from home plate. I was thinking that is the most dangerous place on the field. I thought it was so close. But I guess, you know.
I mean, one bad cut and you're dang near dead.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. In fact, what reminded me of that is I was just kind of glancing down, and Mikey was standing there, and Mikey was in kind of a defensive position while he was on the on-deck circle 10 feet away. I'm exaggerating. It was about 20 feet maybe, but really still too close. Pitch to Mikey is outside, and I believe the count is 3-2. Nobody out, nobody on for the Wildcats as they bat in the bottom of the 3rd, leading the Dragons 3-2. Pitch is hit foul again. Out of play. Tinker's done a really good job pitching. He throws a lot of breaking pitches. Our first look at the Dragons, we did scrimmage them in the early season, but, you know, scrimmages don't really count for much. Just glorified practice. 3-2 pitch, hit into right field. That's a base hit. Good solid base knock there for the freshman, and the Wildcats have their leadoff man aboard. Nice job of hitting, and that's one thing I've noticed about Mikey. I've seen him do that several times this year where he, like I was talking about Clinton, just putting the bat out. He just hit it where he was pitched and got a single.
Correct, David, and that's one thing that Mikey's been known for this season is just making contact, and that's what Coach Reed preaches to each and every one of his hitters is just trying to make contact and get the ball out into play.
See what Tyler can do. They throw over to first, and back to the bag will go the freshman Mikey Teasley. Kind of thought Mikey might pitch today, but they went with Tyler instead. That gives you don't want him because his next start will probably be Thursday, so you don't want to have him not pitch for a while as that pitch is down low, a ball. you want him to be fresh and ready. And I kind of thought Mikey would pitch. So I guess if you look at the way the rotation is set up now, it's kind of changed with the injury to Alex Franklin. As that ball's hit down the line again. That's another base hit for Tyler Pickens. Rounding second and heading toward third comes Mikey Teasley. A stand-up double for the senior Tyler Pickens, and the Wildcats have something going here in the bottom of the third inning. They've got runners in scoring position with nobody out. Better now will be Eddie Tan. He flew out to center field, his first plate appearance. Wildcats are going to get another courtesy runner in the ball game, and I'm going to turn my mic off. Eli Baldwin will be the runner for Tyler Pickens. Eli started the ball game, as all the seniors did. As I said earlier, I like the fact that Coach Free started all his senior players in this ball game, but Eli's going to be running for Tyler Pickens. There's not a confrontation, a conversation taking place on the mound between the Clinton coaches and the infielders. We'll see how long the umpires let them talk. Good start here in the third. The Wildcats have their first two aboard. He lost patience and did start walking out to the mound area. So Oak Ridge and Clinton. Monday, the Wildcats are scheduled to play Bearden here at Bobby Hopkins, but the tournament's going to start as well. So I'm not so sure, any about the times. I just know for a fact that we might not have a post game today. I'll talk about that after Eddie bats here. First pitch is high and outside. A ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Because it is prom night here, the seniors and under anybody going to the prom is going to zip on out of here, so we probably won't have many player interviews unless we get this one going. That pitch is outside. A ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Plus, Coach Free's son is playing in a game at 2:45, and he's got to rush to that, so we might not get a chance to talk to Coach Free. He let me know that before the game. Hopefully after an Oak Ridge win. 2-0 pitch is down low. Ball 3, and Tinker's in trouble. Tinker is tinkering with danger right now. If he throws another ball, the bases will be loaded with nobody out.
Definitely no pun intended by David Clary right there.
Joey always says, I'm always good for one dad joke a game. 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch, that's a strike to Eddie, and the count is 3-1. Mikey Teasley is the runner at third. He had a single to right. The runner at second is Eli Baldwin. He's running for Tyler Pickens, who doubled down the left field line. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Eddie. That's ball 4, and the Wildcats have the bases loaded. Nobody out here in the third inning, and the batter will be the senior, Jacob Franklin. Pitch to the plate is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Jacob, what did he do his first plate appearance? I know he singled, probably to center.
Jacob Franklin singled on his first plate appearance and stole second base.
1 ball, no strikes to him. The pitch to the senior, down low, ball 2, and Tinker is in trouble. He has loaded the bases here in the third inning. He's got a 2 ball, no strike count on Jacob Franklin. Jacob hit a home run the other day in the win over, I guess it was Daniel Boone. I think it was his second of the year, his third overall in his Wildcat career. Bases loaded. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Hit to left field. That's another base hit. Nobody's going to catch it. Great play. And tagging and coming in to score. Nice play out there. I was not giving him enough credit, Ben. I didn't think he was going to catch it, but he did. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Jacob Franklin, and the Wildcats lead it 4-2. Great play by the left fielder. I didn't think he had a chance. The ball was hit hard, but as I said, the Dragon outfielders play so shallow that he just came in and make the play.
Yeah, he was able to make a great diving catch right there out in the left and able to make that play to get Jacob Franklin out right there.
Pitch to Cam Welch is no balls and one strike. That pitch was out of the strike zone from my vantage point. The lefty had a double the last time, scored a couple runs. Oak Ridge has another one on the board here. The freshman drills it past the first baseman into right field, rounding third, coming in to score. It is now 5-2 Wildcats, and Eddie Tan is at third base, and Camden Welch continues to hit the ball hard, and the Wildcats lead the Dragons 5-2. Another good job of hitting by the freshman. Batter now for the Wildcats will be Jason Slay. Wildcats have them on the corners once again. 5-2 Oak Ridge. Wildcats trying to knock off the Dragons here at Bobby Hopkins Field on this Saturday, senior day. Cut on and missed. Ball bounces away, and down to second will go the freshman, Camden Welch. So 2 more runners in scoring position. Wildcats have scored a couple here in this one. Lead it now 5-2 over the Clinton Dragons. Tinker checks the runners. The pitch, breaking pitch way up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Wildcats in the lead, 5-2. Oak Ridge and Clinton have played since the 40s in basically all sports. There were some years that breaking pitch stays outside. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. There were some years, Ben, I don't know if you know that, but the rivalry got so heated, they quit playing each other in all sports for almost a 10-year period. I don't know if you knew that back in the 60s.
I mean, that's crazy. I can never imagine not playing Clinton and having that just shows how much this rivalry means.
Yeah, I mean, it got so heated that they just had to discontinue the series. In fact, we even changed districts one year to get separated from them. One year we went from District 3, which we've always been in, to District 4 for a little while. 1 year, I think. Jason stands back in. The pitch to him, breaking pitch, bounces off the catcher's mitt, but once again not far enough to allow the Wildcat runner Eddie Tan to come in and score. Cam Welch having his best night offensively, I think, for the Wildcats. A couple hard hit balls. 3 runs have scored because of his bat. Got a full count. Jason stands back in. 3-2 pitch from Tinker is a fastball hit in the air, left side. Tagging at third will be Eddie Tan, and he is going to score with a bad throw. And heading towards third is Camden Welch. Dragons kind of misplay that from the beginning. The left fielder threw the ball wildly, and that allowed Cam to move into third. And the Wildcats now lead the Dragons 6-2 here at Bobby Hopkins. And that's another sacrifice fly and an RBI, this time for Jason Slay. And the Wildcats lead Clinton 6-2. Here's Richie Ferreira, his second at bat. He swung at the first pitch and popped it up his first plate appearance. See if he's a little bit more patient here. He loves to swing at that first pitch, and this time takes a breaking pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. Freshman Cam Welch takes his lead off of third. The pitch, cut on and missed, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Izzy Mitchell is on deck for the Wildcats. Another productive inning for the Wildcats. More runs have scored. That one goes bounce away. Here comes another run. It's 7-2 Wildcats. Wild pitch allows Cam Welch to score. So both teams have had similar plays to allow a run to score. The Wildcats have a 5-run lead. It's now 7-2 Wildcats here in the, is it the 4th or the 3rd?
It's the 3rd inning right now, David.
I don't see the numbers up on the individual numbers. Here's the pitch, hit right up the middle. That's a base hit for Richie Ferreira. So the Wildcats have yet another base runner, and Oak Ridge leads Clinton 7-2. And the batter now will be Izzy Mitchell. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here for the Dragons. And nice round of applause from the Clinton fans as he exits. 7-2, the Wildcats in the lead. We'll come back and talk about this new pitcher in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins. The Wildcats with a runner going towards second. No throw, another stolen base. The Wildcats stealing at will against the Dragons here. That's nothing unusual. The Wildcats, they like to run. That's what they do. The Wildcats like to run. They've got another runner in scoring position. That's a stolen base for Richie Ferreira. He's going to third, and the bunt is right back to the pitcher. He's got one play. He doesn't make it, and Richie Ferreira is kind of caught in a rundown here. He could have made it back to third. They throw, and Richie's going to be tagged out as he goes towards third. Not good base running at all there for the Wildcats. Kind of ran themselves out of an inning needlessly. But the Wildcats do have a very productive inning. They now lead Clinton by a score of 7-2. We'll be back for the fourth inning in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Wildcats on top of the Dragons 7-2 in this non-district ball game. Next to last ball game of the year, the regular season of the Wildcats, Oak Ridge, the District 3 champions, has a bye at the district tournament. They will not play again until Thursday. Pitch is hit well to left field. Izzy back on it, way back on it. He under it and can't get it. It's going to take a nice bounce. He fields it well, and they're going to have a double. That ball was hit about 330 feet, Ben.
That was a power hit right there. We were talking about making contact. That was one of those examples right there, and just a great hit right there to get him on second.
You know, at Clinton, that's a home run. Just about any field. It is 348 feet to left field for a home run. The Braves, Truist Park's 330 to left, so it's 18 feet longer here at Bobby Hopkins Field. And that ball is out at any other park, including Truist Park.
Home of an MLB team, so that shows you how different it is here in this park than any.
Pitches hit foul off to the left side and out of play. So a leadoff double for the Dragons. They're trying to get back in it. They trail now 7-2. Who's the batter here now?
Now up to bat is the designated hitter, Garrett Lee.
What has he done in the ball game to this point?
So far, he has struck out on his first plate appearance.
And the pitch to him is hit on the ground in the right field. That's a base hit. And they'll have runners on the corners with nobody out. So Clinton trying to get right back in the ball game. They've got 2 on with nobody out. Tyler Pickens kind of wandering around the mound. The first guy, just a long double to the wall. Izzy came, made a good read on it and ran to the spot, but he just hit over his head. There's a lot of room out there as they squared a bunt. Here's the pitch. It's up high. Here's the throw down to second. He is out by a mile. Go sit down. Easy stolen base. He thought he shouldn't get the bunt down, and that's the problem. If he gets the bunt down, maybe he advances, but nice throw by Kyron Welch, and that is out number 1 in the inning.
I stand corrected once again here in the order. This is now Nick Kidd up to bat for the Clinton Dragons.
Runner at third for the Dragons now, but there is one out. Tyler comes to the plate, breaking pitch in there for a called strike. That was a nice one. He broke across the inner half of the plate and settled into Kyron's mitt, and the count is 1-1 strike. Kyron gives the sign to Pickens. He checks the runner at third. 1-1 pitch. That's a fastball. Caught by Camden Welch at first for out number 2. A little line drive. Camden, the freshman, like a cat.
Great heads-up play right there by Camden Welch on the catch.
So the big inning, which could have been for the Clinton Dragons, now they're going to struggle to get any runs in because they had runners on the corners with nobody out. Now they've got a runner at third with 2 outs, and Tyler with an opportunity to get out of trouble here in the 4th inning.
So now is Jackson Stiltner up to bat for the Clinton Dragons as that is in for strike 1 pitch by Tyler Pickens.
And the first pitch is a called strike. No balls and 1 strike. 2 outs here in the 4th. 7-2 Wildcats. Pitch hits him in the, let's say on the backside of his body. We'll just say that. And they've got runners on the corners again with 2 outs. Wildcats have been very productive, scoring runs in almost every inning except the first. We had a scoreless first inning. And then ever since then, both teams have been able to score the Wildcats a little bit more prolifically, leading 7-2. Dragons trying to get some runs here. They trail 7-2. There's 2 outs. They've got 2 on. Righty versus lefty. The pitch all the way back to the screen. Hits the bricks once again. And down the second will go the runner. So they've got another couple of runners in scoring position with 2 outs. And a 1-ball, no strike count. I don't know that I've seen Tyler struggle as much with his control as he's struggling today.
Yeah, it's just been an off day for Tyler. Thankfully, only 2 runs have been able to score thus far, and just trying to get out of a jam right here, but just a little off for him today.
1-0 pitch is a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Just off the plate on the inner half of it. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 on, 2 outs, 7-2 Oak Ridge. On top of the Dragons in this ball game from Bobby Hopkins and Oak Ridge. Tyler's 2-0 pitch. It's a little high inside. That's ball 3. So Tyler had a chance to really get out of it, and he's given up a hit batsman, and now has a 3-ball, no strike count on this Dragon. That pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike. I'm not a name dropper, but I stood next to him about 2 weeks ago, and I think he's my height, and that's crazy. 3-1 pitch hit right up the middle. That's going to be a base hit into center field, and they're going to score 2 runs. So good job by the Dragons. When it looked like this big inning was going to not go anywhere, Wildcats give up a couple runs. Good job of hitting there by Clinton, and it's a 7-4 ball game. We're in the 4th inning, and Tyler trying to settle down these Dragons here. They've got a runner at first now. Good job of the Dragons. I mean, they could have given up when the Wildcats got the caught stealing and the line out, but then Tyler's control kind of eluded him, and then just a nice job of hitting. Like I said, what I like about the Dragons is they don't try to hit the ball out of the park. They just try to make contact, and that's what they did there.
Yeah, making contact and getting those balls into play is one of the big things that Clinton is really doing well.
1 strike the count. Pitch bounces away from Kyron all the way back to the screen. So down to second will go the base runner, and they've got another runner in scoring position. Just the control issues of Tyler Pickens really hurting the Wildcats. I was going to talk earlier about the rotation for the Wildcats. It has changed a bit, obviously, with the injury, the season-ending injury to Alex Franklin. Mikey Teasley, I guess, would be number 2. Alex, could have made a kind of a. He could have been number 2. He was, he and Teasley have been pitching well. Both of them have. But so the Wildcats a little shorthanded going into the district tournament, shorter than they thought they would be, as that pitch is a called strike. And it's 1-2. So Wildcats pretty deep. We're pretty deep at the pitching position, the starting position, but the injury to Alex is going to kind of put a damper in things.
Yeah, it changes the pitching staff just a little bit, but this team and their depth on the pitching staff is still a little deep and still able to grab a lot of players that even aren't specialized in pitching, still are able to be able, because that's something that Coach Free does a lot, is he's able to get those people who don't normally pitch and get them to build them up as a pitching player.
7-4 the score. The pitch from Tyler cut on a miss, and that's a strikeout, but a very productive inning for the Clinton Dragons. They put a couple of runs on the board. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Wildcats need to go back to work. They still lead Clinton by a score of 7-4. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment. Wildcats go back to work here in the bottom of the fourth inning in a 7-4 ball game now. Leading things off will be Caden Black. I've said that a lot this year. And the first pitch to him is hit in the air again. Center fielder calls for it. His glass is gleaming, and he makes the catch. Very rare day for Caden. He's popped the ball up a couple times in this one. That's usually line drives and balls on the ground. Caden's MO, but a couple flyouts here, and that's out number one. And the batter now will be Mikey Teasley. Right-handed hitter. The pitch to the plate is hit on the ground, this time to the third baseman. He fields it cleanly, throws on to first in time for out number two. So the Wildcats going quickly after a good inning of work offensively for the Clinton Dragons. And here comes Tyler Pickens. He's got a single and a double to his credit. And his runners have scored each time, I believe. New Clinton pitcher doing good work here, Ben.
Yeah, he's gone in here in relief and done a lot of great things so far. And right here with 2 outs easy here in just 2 pitches here in the inning.
Tyler's hit the ball down the third base line both times, one for a single, one for a double. That pitch is a ball, 1 ball, no strike, 7-4. Dragons not going away. As we play here in the fourth inning on this senior day, the seniors were recognized before the ball game. We apologize we didn't get the broadcast on it quick enough to get all of it in there. That was my fault. Breaking pitch goes over the top of Tyler's head. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Caleb Riker now doing camera work. We have Sean Knowles here as well. Ben George sitting next to me here at Bobby Hopkins. 2-0 pitch. Outside for a strike. I don't think that hit any part of the plate, but it's a called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody aboard for the Wildcats. Batting pitch down low. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. You know, when I think about umpiring, I'll come back to that in a minute. Here's the pitch. That's a called strike. That's a nice pitch of the Clinton. I just think of that Maryville ball game on that phantom home run, which was foul by 20 feet.
Yeah, because Lane Malcote found the ball probably 50 feet away from the foul pole.
Like on Greg Strang Field.
Yep.
3-2 pitch to Tyler. That's down low, ball 4. So the Wildcats have a base runner here after the first 2 were retired easily. And here comes Eddie Tan, senior to bat now. What has Eddie done in the ball game, Ben?
Thus far, Eddie Tan is flied out on his first plate appearance, but was able to walk on his second and was able to advance to every single base and get a score.
Wildcats will get another courtesy runner. That'll be Eli Baldwin. Eli's had a big day. He got on base himself when he led off the ball game. Now he's running for Tyler. Eddie stands in. 2 outs, though. Throw it to first, and Eli's back to the bag. So you paid $80 to go to the prom.
This is correct.
I'd like to know really seriously where that money goes.
I'm wondering.
Here's the pitch. The runner is going, and the throw is going to be not a good one. And the Wildcats have another stolen base. Eli Baldwin is in scoring position now with 2 outs here in the fourth. The Wildcats in the lead 7-4 in this one. Hit could mean a run. See what Eddie can do. Surely the decorations don't cost that much. That ball is hit foul back our way and out of play. Surely the decorations can't cost as much as, I mean, because you're talking, 200, 300 people.
Right.
Paying $40 a person.
Yeah, it's something that I think it goes into prom favors. This one's up and out for ball 2. And I think it goes towards prom favors, the production team that we hired to be able to.
Ball's hit in the air once again on the infield. Shortstop under, right behind the bag, makes the play for route number 3. The Wildcats popping up a lot of pitches. Wildcats pick up a base runner. They leave him stranded. We go to the top of the 5th inning here at Bobby Hopkins. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top of the Clinton Dragons 7-4. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. John Ulrich takes over for the Wildcats on the mound for Tyler Pickens. Not Tyler's best day, but he's in line to win his 6th game of the year. He's 5-0. John has a win to his credit this year, save as well. Let's see what he can do with the Dragon lineup here. The junior throws one outside of ball. This stage of the year, and we mentioned this earlier in the game, this stage of the year when you know you're going to start district tournament play this week, you want to save your pitchers. Don't want to give them too many innings, tire their arms out, and good opportunity for John to get some work in as well. He's got an even count now, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, and like you said, David, it's just something that you stress with your players is that you keep them on a pitch count. Not really regardless on the situation, but you keep them on a pitch count. This one's outside for ball 2. Keep them on a pitch count just to be able to give them rest and give them the much experience that they need, but also get them ready for the district tournament.
Who's this batter for the Dragons right now?
Right now is the leadoff hitter, Cam Britton.
2 balls, 1 strike. John comes to the plate. That's high. I was talking to John a couple days ago, I guess, and he said the thing that really was bothering him the most about his game to this point is his control, and that's something that he's been working hard on, try to get his control. 3-1 pitch. There's a swinging strike. That's a nice pitch for John Ulrich, and count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, nobody aboard for the Dragons. They're wearing their all black jerseys today. I don't see any orange on it at all. They have white striping. 3-2 pitch. Hit foul. Right side and drifting out of play over the top of the Clinton fans to our right, the Oak Ridge fans to our left. If you have ever been to Bobby Hopkins Field, or if you have been years ago, the stands were set back farther away from the field, much larger stands on both sides. They did not fall under the grandfathering of bleachers that were safe, so they had to be replaced. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4. Good start for the Dragons. Several times they've had their leadoff man aboard, and John walks the first man he faces. And as I was talking about the field here, they've moved the bleachers almost right up against the railing, just a little bit of a walkway on both sides. And the bleachers here right behind the plate are basically the same distance away from the wall and the netting, but it's just made it more cozy. It's kind of
more intimate feel, I guess you could
good
call
word.
it.
That first pitch is a called strike. No balls and 1 strike. Who is this, Ben?
Right now, this is Sam Rayleigh up to bat for the Clinton Dragons.
Ulrich checks the runner at first. The 1-strike pitch. Here it comes. Hit on the ground. 1 hop to the third baseman, Mikey Teasley. He's got 1 play, and he makes it at first base for out number 1. Mikey displaying that really great arm he's got. And that is the first out of the inning, the runner advancing down to second. Just a little hopper. He only had 1 play, and that was the first, and he had to make a solid throw like he did. And Mikey, the freshman, always zips it across there, and that's the first out of the inning. Right-handed hitter, runner in scoring position. 1 out here in the 5th inning, 7-4 Wildcats. Pitch inside and low, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. A lot of the Oak Ridge fans enjoying the sun that has come out here, several with umbrellas, kind of keep away from the sun. Caleb, here's a pickoff play back to second, back to the bag he goes. Caleb's a little pale. He probably is one of those guys that hates you got a tan. I'm not saying you don't have a tan, but you're probably one of those guys that probably doesn't need to be out in the sun a lot. Pitch is fouled back to the screen. One of the great things, Ben, I've learned over the years when you get a chance to broadcast, you can pick on people that have no way to retaliate.
This is true because he doesn't have a mic, so he can't really have a comment on air because he doesn't really have the mic.
He can point the camera straight up in the air, and that could do it. There he goes. That's retaliation from Mr. Riker. That pitch is fouled once again at the plate, and the count is 1-2.
I will say about Caleb, I do have a picture of him after a track meet, and he looked redder, probably more red than Oak Ridge Cardinal. It was that bad.
He's agreeing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Caleb, one of our Wildcat track team members, doing our camera work currently. Timeout is called by the Clinton batter. Vashon has been doing camera work as well. Vashon, not his usual jovial self. He must get a lot of sleep. Yesterday was his birthday. How old were you, Sean? Are you? And there's strike 3, 2 outs.
Turned 17 yesterday. Feeling like the big dog, the big fella.
Well, you are the big fellow. But Caleb, what are you saying?
He's not good. He's a fake
At what?
four-star.
Caleb says he's not good. He's a fake superstar. But you know what? 4-star. Caleb had. Well, I'm not gonna.
Caleb really talks
I think
harshly
Sean's gonna have a
about
great-
Vashon
I think
always.
He's gonna have a great senior year in football, though. He is.
Yes.
Looking forward to seeing him play. Pitch is hit, foul territory, coming over towards the Oak Ridge dugout and out of play over the top of it. 2 outs. John trying to kind of get around that leadoff walk. He got the next 2 batters in succession, trying to get the third one here, trying to earn a save today here at Bobby Hopkins for Tyler Pickens, who's trying to win his 6th game of the year. He came in at 5-0. Really didn't have his best stuff, but he worked through it. John to the plate. Oh, boy. Evidently a little low at the knees. On the corner, he called it a ball. John Ulrich with his glove over his face. Here's the pitch to the plate. Breaking pitch hit on the ground. Softly to the shortstop. Caden Black throws across to Camden Welch at first. That is out number 3. Good job of work. After the leadoff walk, John Ulrich retires the next 3 batters in order. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field on our YouTube channel. Oak Ridge 7, Clinton 4. Back in a moment. Jacob Franklin leads things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Wildcats in a 7-4 ball game against the Dragons. The first pitch to him is hit foul back to the screen.
And on his 2 plate appearances, Jacob Franklin, in his first, got a single and then a stolen base. On his second, scored a run on a sacrifice fly out to center field.
Pitch to him is a ball. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. I've got to give Matt Hagan some credit here. Not only is he doing camera work, he's also doing the play-by-play at the same time. You know, I've been doing it a long time, but I'm not good enough to do that. That's why I employ 3 people to do that same job. The ball is hit to center field. Center fielder should make the catch, and he does for out number 1. The Wildcats are popping the ball up a lot here in this one.
Yeah, it's going up pretty high on these hits that they've got. Not a lot of ground hitting as they're normally used to, but they've been hitting it up, and a couple of them have contributed to a couple runs. As now up to bat for the Wildcats is number 23, the freshman, Camden Welch, who's been a power hitter for the Wildcats today.
Yeah, he has a double and a single to his credit, and at least 3 runs knocked in. First pitch to him is a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Tyler Pickens started. John Ulrich came in the top of this inning. We're in the 5th. 7-4 Oak Ridge. The pitch to Cam hit well once again, but way foul. Right fielder gives it a look, but it's off into the trees. I've kind of told you about this back in the dark ages when I was playing here. There was no city service building there. There was just woods, and it started right behind that building. There was just all woods here. The lower field was there, but the fields behind us were not. So they've really kind of done a lot of work here. Ball hit on the ground once again, this time to the first baseman. He fields it and steps on the bag. Cam's a dead pull hitter. He's hit all 3 balls pulled to the right side, and that is an out. And the Clinton pitcher has done a really good job stopping the Wildcats here. Since he's come in, the Wildcats haven't really had much, haven't gotten much done.
Yeah, and what we heard from the announcer for Clinton was that before today, he's only had 3 innings pitched because he's utilized as a JV pitcher. So a great opportunity for him to do great things right here.
Pitch to Jason Slay, cut on and missed, and the count is 0-1. 2 outs, nobody aboard, 7-4. We're in the 5th inning. This game started around noon. We're about at the 1:45 mark of the game. We had senior night, actually senior day before. 1 strike pitch, high and inside, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Vashon's 17 years old. He's a Taurus. He's a Taurus the bull.
Birdstone's a diamond. You know what it is. I'm him. Yeah.
Ball is hit on the ground to the third baseman. He throws high, but in time for out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down for the Clinton Dragons pitcher, and the Wildcats go in order. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Live here at Bobby Hopkins Field, Oak Ridge on top of the Dragons, 7-4. And we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the 6th inning. John Ulrich, in his 2nd inning of work, gave up a walk. That's good news there. I saw your boy Hendon Hooker got drafted, Ben.
Correct. We had a lot of Tennessee Vols last night get drafted. Hendon Hooker, Cedric Tillman, and Jalen Hyatt back-to-back. And as well as Byron Young.
2 balls and no strikes. Who's batting here? Ben. 14, I believe.
Right up now is Harrison Shelton.
Pitch to him is hit in the left field, shallow left field. Izzy pretty much makes an easy play. He didn't really have to move maybe more than a half a step, and that was in. Then he took a step back to where he originally was, and makes the catch for out number 1. Good start for John. John, that's what you talk about in baseball. You don't have to overpower people. If you throw strikes, make them put it in play and let your defense do the work. And that's Tyler Pickens has been so good all year long, but today his control just was not there. But he worked through it. And he's in line for his 6th win of the year. He's 5-0. Both teams, I think, have won 18 ball games on the year. So Clinton's had a good year. They are champions in their district, and they have 3-way tie in their district for first place.
And the way that they won home field advantage for the district tournament for them is with a coin flip. So that's an unusual way to win it, but they will be hosting for a couple games in the district tournament, David.
We've got all of our games here at home at Bobby Hopkins. The Wildcats' first game will be Thursday against a team to be determined. Ball's hit on the ground. Shortstop Caden Black. Backhand throw on the first. Cam on the bag for route number 2. So the Dragons go down the first 2 guys that John has faced. And the third batter in their lineup with 2 outs is...
Right now is up to bat is number 23, Jackson Stiltner.
Alex Franklin pointed out something on the Clinton lineup that was given to us by their coach. That ball ripped to center field. I'm talking about almost taking the teeth out of John Ulrich's mouth as that ball was hit right back at him on a line drive. Single with 2 outs here. That is the first hit of the game allowed by John. And they've got a runner at first with 2 outs in a 7-4 ball game. The Wildcats in the lead.
So right now this is Jason Mack up to bat for the Clinton Dragons.
Breaking pitch stays up high. And the count is 1-0. They've got a runner at first. Both teams have kind of slowed down their offense. The Wildcats haven't scored in a couple innings. Dragons in a 7-4 ball game, trailing the Wildcats. Junior John Ulrich has a 1-0 pitch. The pitch hit into center field. Center fielder coming in strong and makes the catch for out number 3. That's Richie Ferreira out in center field. Dragons pick up a 2-out base hit, but they leave him stranded. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. It's the Oak Ridge Wildcats 7 and the Clinton Dragons 4. We'll be back in a moment. Go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Wildcats on top, 7-4 over the Dragons. Richie Ferreira leads things off for Oak Ridge. He did not start the ball game. Coach Free started all the seniors on the roster. Eli Baldwin, Baylor Wright, got a chance to start today. Pitch to the plate is cut on and missed. Richie, what has Richie done here today, Ben?
So far, Richie had a single in his last plate appearance, but on his first, he flew out to center field.
Hits the ball in the right field. That's a solid single through the hole there, and a good start for the Wildcats here in the 6th inning. And the sophomore's on base, and the batter will be Izzy Mitchell. What has Izzy done?
So far on his last plate appearance, he had a single, and then on his first, he was hit by the pitch on a walk by the hit by pitch.
Right-handed hitter. Remember the Oak Ridge football team as well. Right-handed hitter. Richie takes his lead off of first, pitches down low a ball, a quick smack throw to first, and Richie back safely. Richie has made a mistake earlier with some base running. He's got to be a little bit more aware of things. He got caught in a rundown between third and home earlier and almost got picked off at first.
Not completely sure that he was safe there, but he just got back just in time.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. He bunts it right back to the pitcher. He's got to play it second, but he gets the safe out at first, and that is out number 1. And the Wildcats now will have what is normally their leadoff man, Caden Black, batting here. He's hitting the number 3 spot today for the Wildcats. Kind of a quiet day for Caden. As I mentioned, he had 4 hits yesterday against Bearden, but today I believe he is yet to.
Yeah, unfortunately for Caden so far, he's going 0 for 3, all on hitting outs.
Pitch is a called strike. Caden doesn't go 0 for a ball game very often. He usually puts the ball in play. But like you said, Ben, he's popped the ball up a few times, which is not really like him. That's a typical Caden Black hit right there, and it's going to score a run. It's going to be an RBI single as Richie Ferreira comes in to score, and Caden comes all the way down to second. So, yeah, Richie never hesitated as he came around third. The throw was way up the line, and the Wildcats have an insurance run on the board. It's 8-4 now, Wildcats. Eight to 4 Wildcats. Mikey Teasley steps in, the freshman. Takes a strike on the outside, the left-handed batter's box, actually, for called strike 1. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. 1 out here in the 6th inning. The Wildcats have an insurance run. They're up 8-4 now over Clinton. Runner going to third, pitches inside, and a bouncing throw. Nice play by the third baseman just to keep the ball from going into the outfield, and that is a stolen base for Caden Black. So he's at third with 1 out, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count on Mikey Teasley. Here's the pitch to Mikey, hit on the ground, third base side. He boots it, and the Wildcats are going to score another run, and they call him out at first. Did you turn the camera? And Wildcats do have another run, and it is 9-4. Was he out or was he safe there, Ben? He looked safe to me, but
the throw looked a tad bit late. I'm not completely sure that he made the play right there.
So the Wildcats now lead 9-4, and Tyler Pickens, third baseman, has had some struggles here today. If he feels that cleanly, he might come home with the throw, and Caden had broken towards the plate. He might have had a play there. He didn't feel it cleanly, but he did have plenty of time to throw Mikey out. 9-4 Wildcats as Tyler Pickens stands in. Tyler's had a really good ball game. Tyler hitting over 500 on the season. Trying to win his 6th game of the year as well. 9-4 Wildcats as they bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hit foul to the right side and just over the top of the Clinton dugout and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Sean Knowles, Caleb Riker, Ben George helping me out here today. My name is David Clary. As the Wildcats lead at 9-4, trying to beat the dreaded Dragons here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Tyler steps out of the box. Eddie Tan's on deck for the Wildcats, but it'll take a 2-out hit for Tyler or somehow get him on base. The pitch hit hard, third base side. Feels it, throws. Not in time, and it's off the first baseman's glove. The third baseman has struggled. His throw kind of was to the second base side of first base, and he couldn't hold the bag and make the catch at the same time, and the Wildcats have another base runner. Tyler Pickens will be replaced on the base paths, I'm sure. He has been, well, actually, no, he's not the pitcher anymore, so he will run for himself. When he was pitching, he was replaced on the base paths by Eli Baldwin. Here's the pitch to Eddie, ripped to left, in the gap it goes. Let's see if Tyler can score. He's around second, heading towards third. Left fielder gets it in pretty quickly. That is a double for Eddie Tan on the first pitch, a solid base knock, and the Wildcats have him at second and third with 2 outs, and the batter will be Jacob Franklin.
And thus far for Eddie Tan on his first plate appearance, flying out, getting a walk and a score.
There's
This
a base
one's
hit for Jacob Franklin, and here comes another run. Here comes 2 runs. If Eddie can score, it's going to be a bang-bang play at the plate. He is out at the plate. Wildcat fans don't agree, but the Wildcats have played it another run. It is 10-4 Wildcats. Eddie out at the plate for the third out of the inning. Yeah, I don't know. The throw got there. The tag was applied high. I think he got under it, but we haven't had the best umpiring in this ball game. On this Saturday afternoon, Coach Freed agrees with me. He is arguing with the home plate umpire. We haven't had a lot of good, well, I mean, they do the best they can. It's a hard job, I know. It's not as hard as basketball or football. You're standing right there. You can see whether he's out or safe. And Coach Freed is like me. I think Eddie got under the tag easily because he tagged him high. He tagged him high.
And
he
as
was
you
under the
should
tag
argue
there.
right there, you should argue right there just because that throw was a little high, and it looked to be that he got his left hand in there first for the score. But obviously the home plate umpire did not think that. But a great argument to have there as that looked to be a score.
10-4 Wildcats. Mikey Teasley's going to come in and pitch. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. Ben George is getting ready for his senior prom here, and joining me now in the booth is junior Wildcat Alex Franklin. Alex suffered a little bit of an injury here. Alex, I see you've got a sling on. Tell the fans out there what's going on with you.
All right, so last Saturday when we played Daniel Boone, I dove for a ball when I was coming off the mound and ended up dislocating my shoulder. Have a couple of possible injuries, but nothing confirmed yet. MRI in about 2 weeks. The results for that.
Mikey Teasley takes over for the Wildcats. John Ulrich, and the first pitch he delivers is a swinging strike. You are a starting pitcher. You've seen action on the mound for the Wildcats. I'll ask you about Mikey here in a second after this one-strike pitch. It's a high and inside. Very seldom you see a freshman step in and play the way he has at third, batting, and pitching. Talk about Mikey Teasley, Alex.
Well, I mean, he's a phenomenal player, and I mean, we knew he was coming in. When he came in here, he was going to be one of the key parts of our team. And
1-1 pitch is a called strike. That pitch was in the left-hand batter's box once again, but we'll take it.
yeah,
It's a 10-4 lead for the Wildcats. Wildcats need 3 outs and dispose of the Dragons. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mikey to the plate. Breaking pitch. That's called strike 3, but he's going to have to throw him out, and he's not going to be able to. They got a strikeout. You got to give a credit a strikeout to Mikey Teasley there, but kind of eluded Kyron Welch, and they've got a runner on with nobody out.
yeah, great pitch by Mikey there. Coming in, 2 fastballs on the outside corner, come in, something inside with a good break to it, late break, have him turn away from it, and strike 3.
I was telling Alex before the ball game when he was up here in the press box that, Joey and Ben will be graduating, and obviously he's on the baseball team. But if for whatever reason he's not on the team, he could help me up in the booth here. He's already getting his debut, his audition, I guess, Alex. Got a runner at first base. The Wildcats on top 10-4. Got some insurance runs in the bottom of the 6th inning to boost the lead up to 6 runs. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch is down low. 2 balls and no strikes. So I noticed something too. I noticed that your brother picked your walk-up music, and it wasn't probably the best song in the world. You turned the tables on him today.
Yeah, I decided to give some payback. Gave him the walk-up song he gave me. Ended up giving him a hit in his first at-bat.
That pitch is down low. 3 balls and no strikes. I didn't think Tyler Pickens had his best stuff today. He really struggled with his control. He worked through it and, pitched a solid 4 or 5 innings, but I didn't think he had his best stuff today. Control-wise, anyway.
Yeah, he's been working through some growth plate issues since his actually end of his sophomore year. He grew very fast, and with pitching so much, he had a fracture in his growth plate, and he's still suffering from that 2 years later, even.
Mikey
just flared up today.
Mikey's walked a batter now, so they've got runners at first and second, and nobody out. And the pitch, that's a called strike. The count is 0-1.
This is one of the areas Mikey excels when he is pitching. He's very good when runners are on to keep them in their spot, along with delivering straight strikes to the batters.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. He offered at it, but I don't think they asked for help, and it is 1 ball, 1 strike. You had a really solid year pitching. Obviously, we knew you were going to pitch the ball well. You jokingly, I think, said at the first of the year you didn't expect to really have a walk-up song. Not a whole lot of at-bats, but your plate appearances have been really good. There's a butt, pass fielded by Mikey Teasley. He throws on to first, and that is a sacrifice bunt. Now, almost bunt for a base hit. They've got runners at second and third with 1 out. It's a good bunt there, and a nice play by Mikey.
Yes, very nice play. Very identical play to the one I dove on.
Where you got hurt against Daniel Boone. But you had a good year at the plate too, Alex.
Well, I mean, all I was put in really to do was score in runners, move runners around, and basically my goal was just not do too much.
Ball is hit in the air, foul territory. Camden Welch makes the play in foul territory, and that is the second out of the inning. The Wildcats 1 out away from knocking off the Dragons. They have runners at second and third in a 10-4 ball game. I think one of the cool games, I guess it's Central when you knocked in your brother, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, and that was one of my first plate appearances of the year. I think it was within my first 5, so that was very exciting there.
2 outs, 2 on. Dragons down to their last out in a 10-4 ball game. Mikey Teasley to the plate, breaking pitch, outside, ball 1. Very inconsistent strike zone for the home plate umpire today.
Yeah. Why don't we take a look at that movement on that? That thing had such late movement, it broke no more than maybe 7-8 feet out from the plate.
That pitch is bounced away, and they're going to get the play at the plate if he covers, and he's going to be safe. And a little bad sportsmanship right there by the runner. He gets up in our catcher's face and claps. Mikey didn't break off the mound quick enough, and I think the ball bounced away. I was kind of surprised, too, that he broke. Bang, bang play, and it is now 10-5.
Yeah, that kid that just did that, very bad sportsmanship. That's Ethan Tinker. He's been doing that for the past couple of years. He had issues with Logan Rosenberger last year doing that kind of stuff. And it's been back and forth between our team and their, not even really specifically their team, but mainly him.
Here's the pitch. It's outside. Well, that's the part of big rivalries, Alex. You know that. Oak Ridge and Clinton. I talked to Ben earlier before he left that, there were several years that the two teams didn't play in any sport because the rivalry got so heated. Mikey,
yeah, and that could have happened last year with Powell and us.
Pitches on the inside corner. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike. Unfortunately, though, it's a district ball game, so you can't not play them. But one year we actually changed districts to get away from Clinton.
Yeah.
To not play them. So, I mean, that's in there right now. They're not in our district now. You'll be hosting the district tournament. Your first ball game is on Thursday. I know you're excited about that. I hope I have more time to talk to you here. It's 10-5, the Wildcats in the lead, but Clinton only has one more out to play with here to try to advance. That pitch is evidently low. Like I said, he has been so inconsistent with his strike zone. He's catching it from the Oak Ridge fans and the dugout. They've got runners on the corners. Your team won the district championship in the regular season. That's the first time since the 70s. Congratulations to you guys. What was the difference between this year's team and last year's team?
Well, this year's team we've had such a deep pitching staff, and we've also just been executing as well as we can this year with runners in scoring position, second and third.
Pitch is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. 10-5 Wildcats as Dragons bat in the 7th inning. Oak Ridge trying to win their 19th game of the year. The school record for wins in a season for an Oak Ridge baseball team is 25. So that's pretty much as the ball is hit on the ground, third base side. Tyler Pickens throws on the first. That's your ball game. The Wildcats have beaten the Dragons again. 10-5 is the final score. Alex, appreciate you coming by here, and good luck with whatever happens with your arm.
All right, thank you. See you later.
That is Alex Franklin, member of the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. On the injured reserve, Coach Mac Daddy Free wins his 19th game. The reason we think that's funny is the Clinton coach wrote that on his lineup sheet, Travis Mac Daddy Free. And the Mac Daddy has won his 19th ball game. So the Wildcats win it by a final score of 10-5. As I said earlier, we might or might not have a postgame show. It is prom day. We probably won't speak to any of the players, at least those who are going to the prom. Coach Free's son has a ball game as well at 2:45, so he might be jetting out as well. The Wildcats win it 10-5. That's your final score. We'll come back with totals and highlights in a moment. We'll get back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field, where the Wildcats have just knocked off Clinton by a final score of 10-5. Big day offensively For Cam Welch, he knocks in 3 runs, had a double and a single. Tyler Pickens was on base 3 times for the Wildcats. Another big night. Just about everybody contributed to the offense, whether with clutch hitting or a lot of the Wildcats runs scored with 2 outs. The Wildcats had kind of a different kind of an order because it is senior day. The Wildcats started all their seniors. So the batting order was different from normal. The seniors played 1 inning and came out for the most part. The ones that haven't played as much this year, and the rest of the seniors played it out. And the Wildcats had good pitching performances from Tyler Pickens, John Ulrich, and then Mikey Teasley to finish things out for the Wildcats. 10-5 was the final score. The Wildcats have a scheduled ball game on Monday here at Bobby Hopkins against the Bearden Bulldogs. For whatever reason, they moved the senior day night, which was scheduled for Monday to today, so that will not be a senior night, but it will be the final regular season ball game for the Wildcats. They'll start District 3 play on Thursday. The tournament begins before that, but the Wildcats won't see action until this coming Thursday. So the Wildcats victorious today over the Clinton Dragons. Coach Free told me he probably would not be up for a post-game show. I'll wait to see if some of the players come who are not going to the prom, if they come up to talk to me, but if not, we'll just close it out. 10-5 the final score. The Wildcats knock off the Clinton Dragons. If we have a post-game show, we'll have it in a moment. Coach Travis Free, head coach of the Wildcats, joins us here in the booth. And, Coach, I know you wanted to come and watch your son play, so we'll make this really quick. Good senior day win for your team over the dreaded Dragons, the rivals of from many years. Tyler Pickens, I didn't think he really had his best control today, but he worked through it, which, good pitchers do that. If they don't have – he didn't have his best control, but – I thought he battled through it. John Ulrich came in, pitched well. Mikey finished things off. So you got some timely hitting. You got all your seniors on the team, a chance to start a ball game. And so overall, a really good day.
Yeah, great. Man, it was a tough night. Late night last night, followed up by an early morning today, followed up by senior night, followed up by the prom today. So the coach's nightmare, as I would call it, the trifecta. But, yes, Tyler struggled with his command. But if you think about it, Tyler has had a 13-day layoff. I've rested him for 13 days. I knew he was going to be rusty, but that's number one why we got him out here today, just to get it. He was fighting through his mechanics, fighting through some things. But ultimately, he battled through it. We battled through it. We found a way to win, and we found a way to get some people in the game, and it was a great afternoon.
One thing that comes to mind, I thought Camden and I haven't seen all the ball games here recently, but I thought Cam Welch probably had his best offensive game of the day. He had, he hit the ball hard every time at bat. He got a double, a single, hit the ball hard for his last at bat, knocked in 3 runs, and that's a player you've raved about. You've watched him play, since he was a little kid. He's only a freshman, but I thought it was his best day. But I thought overall everybody contributed offensively, but I was really pleased with him.
I think every player probably had a hit in some sort. It seems like today, to me, everybody had a hit. Now, going through there and trying to think through it, I may miss one. But, yeah, ultimately Cam last night with that arm they brought in, he was throwing, 88 to 90, and Cam hit that ball to the warning track off that guy. And ever since then, he's kind of had a grin on his face and a smile on his face like he was starting to figure it out. So, he just keeps grinding it out. But, yeah, he's going to be fine. I mean, he's a baseball player, and he knows how to hit and he knows how to play. So
I thought that ball was going out last night, too. When
Oh,
he
no
hit it,
doubt.
I thought it was gone.
I thought it was gone, too. We were celebrating like it was, but it didn't go. So it was but today, you're right. This was his best offensive day of the year.
Coach, you've got, I guess, Bearden coming up Monday, the last regular season ball game. That's the schedule for it. And then you've got the district tournament coming up. So it's all coming down to this final, hopefully you'll have 3 or 4 more weeks to go.
Yeah.
But it's coming down to the end of the regular season.
It is. We're closing it out. The weather's getting nice. We're starting to play a little better. We're starting to figure out some pieces and do some right things. So all of it's kind of coming together at the right time. So I hope that we just continue to play well. And on Monday, I hope we do the same.
Coach, one more thing here. The Clinton coach put on the lineup card Travis McDaddy Free on his sheet that he gave me. So you must have some kind of relationship with him.
Well, Rob and I are from the same town. We grew up. He played with my brother in college, so we grew up in the Tri-Cities, both of us together. So yeah, we've known each other for a long, long time. So I didn't know he did that. I was wondering why these guys were just calling me Mac Daddy, and then the people over there were too. I was curious in where that came from.
Yeah, it was on his lineup sheet. One more thing here. Talk about the district tournament. I know we don't play till Thursday, but
correct.
Talk about where, who we potentially could play and what time.
So Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, Carnes and West will play each other at West. And then we play the winner of that game on Thursday night here at 6 o'clock. So our game will be the winner of Carnes and West on Thursday.
Coach, I appreciate it. Just your final comments on this win today.
Great team win. We were able to get it done. So I'm excited about the future and what we're doing moving forward. So let's go Wildcats, and hope that we see everybody out here on Thursday night.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
10-5, the final score. The Wildcats knock off the Clinton Dragons to win their 19th game of the 2023 season. That about does it here from Bobby Hopkins Field. Our next broadcast of Oak Ridge High School baseball will be Monday when the Wildcats take on the Bearden Bulldogs. John, you want to talk real quick here?
Sure, why not?
John Ulrich is going to step in. I thought I was done. We'll get John in here. He pitched a couple of scoreless innings, I believe, for the Wildcats. John, your team wins over Clinton, and we got a Dragon player in here, so you don't want to say anything bad here. But it's always good to beat your rivals, especially on senior day for the seniors.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. It means a lot to the guys. I know that. This has been an ongoing rivalry since before I got here.
The 40s.
Yeah, it's been going on a while.
Well,
But yeah, it's always good to get the W. And yeah.
How do you think you pitched today?
I'm really happy with how I did. I was throwing strikes. So there's some people that know I was after the Lennar City game. There was a play that I tried to throw a ball after I fell down and I screwed up my shoulder a little bit, but I'm happy I was able to come back. I didn't feel any pain in my shoulder today, and I was happy I was able to throw 2 scoreless.
I talked to Coach Free a moment ago about Tyler didn't have his best stuff today in terms of his control, but I did not realize he hadn't pitched in 13 days. So you as a pitcher know if you don't pitch regularly, you can be a little bit rusty.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been 8 days, and it's a little weird getting back out there for the first time after not throwing a bullpen, not getting in a game for a while, and especially coming back from an injury, it's especially just kind of a weird feeling.
So you have one more regular season ball game. You got the district tournament starting on Thursday, either against Carnes or West. What are your thoughts as we head to the postseason?
We're just gonna keep winning, man. It's going to keep happening. Wins are going to keep coming. We're going to win districts this year. I'm 100% confident in that. And I'm excited to get back at it with the guys.
John, I appreciate it. Good luck on Monday, and we'll probably talk to you again sometime soon.
Thank you.
That
Have
is
a good one.
that is John Ulrich. He is a junior member of the Oak Ridge Wildcats. Now that about does it here from Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats knock off Clinton by a final score of 10-5. We'd like to thank Alex Franklin, Ben George, Caleb Riker, and Vashon Knowles for being on our broadcast today. Vashon wants to close us out. 10-5 the final score. Vashon, you've got the mic.
I'm Vashon here with Caleb Riker and David Clary, and so long, everybody.